It's not Zelda. It's Dead Island 2. Tears of the... whoever. Truly, we are the Dead Island. That's the twist, is we find out that, like, we're all the Dead Island. I can't wait. Anyway, I'm here with Dave and Jeff, and I guess we're in Muscle Beach. And as I said in my 7-second intro, it's not Zelda. So I'm gonna have to take a minute to just get used to that. and then enjoy the game that I am playing, because we actually have been having a lot of fun playing this. I'm just trying to ultra hand these two chairs together, so it's not really working. Damn. Alright.
Have you been informed about the Ultra Hand?
What about it?
Oh, man.
That it was a toy from like 1966?
Oh, yeah. I knew about that because that was in like a WarioWare game as like an unlockable toy. Yeah.
I didn't know. Someone had to tell me. I'm an idiot.
Well, not an idiot so much as it's a very obscure like thing that you don't hear about unless you're like a huge Nintendo. Like even up until the Wario game I played that told me about it, I had never heard of it. I just knew that they made playing cards.
I was surprised that kind of a thing like didn't exist until 1966 apparently.
The
like,
hand
I don't
grabber?
know that. Yeah, that sort of that grabbing device seems like something that would have existed a while ago. Like further than that, but
Yeah, I had one as a kid, but it wasn't obviously Ultra Hand. It was just like grabbing device, and I liked it.
yeah. Unfortunately, it didn't stick things together with green goo.
No,
Or maybe
not much
fortunately.
does. Not much does. Are we, oh, I guess we'll talk to this dude. The guy who's smoking weed.
Let's do it.
Sire?
One second Bud is here, next second no head, so no Bud. Man.
Hey, look, I'm sorry, pal. You just gotta make sure it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, look like
Need
Mario
guns,
hands.
Way to like
What?
defend ourselves. But hey, you know,
Sure.
you could do us
Oh
a
yeah, they
solid.
do.
I think they're supposed to be doves though,
Well,
but
that depends.
they're like Mickey Mouse hands.
The
I guess
police
it's only three
station out on
fingers,
the
though.
beach. We heard gunshots the other night, so we went to the roof to check it out. Some gnarly Alamo tear shit, man. Cops must have holed up there because they were blasting Z's away, but then, you know, nothing, silence. We tried to radio, see if they could, like, share supplies, but we got dead air, so, you know, they're probably Z's now. I mean, we only tried 911, so maybe...
All right, okay. Buddy,
Yeah?
I'll go check it out.
Cool.
Alright. We could fast travel as well, it seems, but there's a map there that had fast travel stuff on it. I don't know if you guys want to do that.
I don't see that option.
No. Watch. There's apparently some kind of actual thing here. Oh, this is for all the other places. Never mind. Sorry about that. I got
No
confused. It doesn't take much to confuse me. Oh, you guys are that way. Yeah.
What if you could like chop the limbs off of moblins with your ultra hand? You
know-
like stick a leg to something and rock it off the leg.
You know, I was actually kind of thinking that, So how far are you in? Here we are playing Dead Island 2, talking about Zelda. How far are you in the new Zelda?
I've done one dungeon. I'm probably like, I'm gonna guess 80 hours in.
Holy fuck.
I've got like probably half the shrines done, I'm gonna guess. I've done a lot. I go hard on that game.
Yeah. Well, you've also...
Yeah. I've played it.
You played it.
I played it for a while, yeah.
Because, like, there's no way I could have gotten even close to that. And I've been playing it a lot, too. But...
Yeah.
How about you, Jeff? Have you gotten any, like, further than me, or are you just kind of starting it?
I just played like 2 hours, maybe.
Okay. I feel like
But
the
I've
real...
watched
Yeah.
a few people play like a little bit more, but you know, I did buy it on launch day for what it's worth, but I didn't end up. I just ended up like getting busy. I just moved into a new apartment too. So.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
Where is everybody? Come on.
But it was nice to sit down and start it up.
Yeah, when you hit like 3 hours, like 3 hours, something like that, like past the sky stuff, and then you start like really getting into the new elements on Hyrule, you're gonna the addiction is just, it's intense.
There was this is, you know, completely spoiler free. There was something that, like, I haven't seen anybody else talk about this, but it was something I noticed. Or maybe I'm crazy, but so, like, you know, this game has some cinematics in it, just like Breath of the Wild did. I noticed that the cinematics are actually like kind of directed differently from the way Breath of the Wilds were, and they're actually like pretty decent. Like, there's actually some like cinematography, like things that they're doing, like techniques. And I just kind of noticed it in one little video, and then I noticed it in another, and I was like, oh, this like actually a lot of effort being put in here.
God knows they can afford it, like
Yeah.
you know, good cinematographers and talent, with the amount of money that they have made on Breath of the Wild and the Switch in general.
And with if the rumor was true that the game was actually done like 2 years ago, then there was also plenty of time to put a lot of nice touches on it.
I haven't
there
heard
something
that
different
rumor.
about the engine too? Isn't it like
It's a new engine, yeah. Neri
it
was
is a new
telling us
engine?
about
Okay.
that.
I didn't want to say that. I wasn't sure if it was or not.
That
Yeah,
I didn't even know, because
it,
it just doesn't
like-
seem like it, you know?
yeah. I don't know what's crazier: the fact that it's apparently a new engine, or the fact that Breath of the Wild is on the engine that they started with Twilight Princess. I think is what he said.
Huh.
Either that or Skyward Sword. I can't remember. But like, yeah, they just massively upgraded the engine.
Probably
over and
Skyward
over.
Sword, but yeah, I mean, that's like
Yeah.
Bethesda doing all... Hang on a second, this game is way too loud.
Wait, no, it was Wind Waker, because I had asked about, or I mentioned that maybe that's why the Wind Waker and Skyward Sword got the remakes. So it was Wind Waker that started the engine.
I just realized Dead Island 2 is at full volume, which usually it's not. And so I was just thinking, oh, this is the normal amount of volume, and 9 minutes of this video was just like, you guys were probably being drowned out. It's definitely listenable, but anyway, yeah, that's kind of crazy, because again, it plays super fucking similar, if not exactly the same feeling to Breath of the Wild. But what's this rumor about it being done 2 years ago? Like, what was why'd they have it in the oven so long?
Yeah, I think it's just COVID stuff, and I think maybe it was down to like figuring out whether or not they were gonna actually finish that Switch 2, because that definitely was a thing at some point, and it just didn't happen because of COVID. So it might have been a combination of
I found a blue item over here. I don't know if it's just one for you guys.
Yeah, I see that. It's quite good, actually.
Dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember where I even saw the 2021 thing, but I don't know. Like I said, rumor. Don't take my word for it.
No, but I mean, it makes sense, especially considering Metroid Prime was apparently held onto. And, you know, the Switch 2 Pro rumors have been going on for years and years and years, but it seems like they're gaining a little bit more steam. I mean, listen, it's only a matter of time anyway. It's not
Plus,
like they will never release a sequel to the Switch of some kind.
like the amount of time it took between them announcing Tears of the Kingdom and actually releasing it, like Nintendo doesn't normally do that. That amount of time difference, you know?
True.
Like,
yeah, they usually announce and then not soon after.
Yeah,
Game is
it's
out,
usually
yeah.
I would say within a year is their usual thing.
Year or two, unless it gets delayed like Ocarina of Time did several times back in the day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or something like Advance Wars whole thing happens.
Mhm.
Let's see. Put this in here and electrocute something.
It's like amphibious assault boats over here.
Find the quarantine corridor. Red rum, it says
Of
here.
course it's this way. Nope, must be some kind of emergency lockdown.
Someone's being
Override.
Oh, I didn't
Edgy.
expect that to happen.
I mean, but if you, like, this whole thing that we're seeing here on the beach, this seems like something that would happen in a situation like this, and having the beach blocked off and just have, like, supplies and trucks brought in. Like, there's a
Yeah.
part of me that just wants to see this whole process play out. I would watch a season of a zombie show just watching this base get built and, like, all the inciting
Another blue
incidents.
item. There's a gun over here. I don't know if it's here for you guys.
Oh, fuck. I gotta come over there in a second. Hang on. I'm looking for the code. Hide. Alex.
Last entry was a Wednesday.
$27,000 evacuated off the beach. 317 euthanized. Wow.
There's a duty roster. Which day did the shit hit the fan?
We are the youth of the nation. I don't know. I just think of that whenever.
When you hear euthanasia?
Day should have been Hicks.
Shit.
Guess corpse.
Oh, we still have a lockdown in effect. It's amazing how many of these phrases were just like everyday life for, you know, a couple years. Whoa, whoa, zombie just T-posed in a fucking urinal.
Yeah, POD was pretty popular for a while back then.
Now, when you say POD was popular, is that a direct response to me saying a zombie T-posed in a urinal?
Oh, the thing before that.
Oh. Might be stuck in here. Oh man, and you had a blue gun? Fuck. So, gotta find Hicks. That's the mission.
Oh, you jumped over?
I jumped
How'd you get
over.
there? Wait, no, you're with me.
And yeah, that's me. Hello.
For day one.
I'm coming.
What I need.
I was trying to find a way over there, but I failed.
You're in here.
Useless.
Oh yeah, you gotta go the beach way, I think.
No good.
Okay.
Okay. Hicks's lockdown code is the first
Does
two
this-
digits of his birthday, middle two.
Or
of
you
his
could
birth
climb over that
number,
crane, I think.
the
You
last
might be able to
two
parkour over it.
There's
I
a
forget.
locked door over here. Can you open it from your side?
Apparently he had the shits.
2151.
Yeah, I'll just wait for you because you're coming back this way anyway.
No, can't open
No?
it for some reason.
Because we need to get the code. I have the code. Oh, fuck. It didn't work.
I like how there's just like an endless amount of gas pouring out of this.
Well, I found... that's weird. Security keypad. Oh, wait, maybe is this the keypad over here? Yeah, Dave, you have to... I think you gotta come this way. If you can.
All right. I'll go towards the yellow dot.
Yeah, oh, Jeff, over here, I think.
Here we
Needs
go.
the comms area key card. Never mind, this needs a key card, and the key code is Hicks's, like, lucky number, which I just found.
More of the code. Yeah.
Track down his dog tag to complete the code. Oh, that wasn't the code. This is confusing.
Oh,
Found Hicks. He jump scared me.
Just
God damn it.
He was last seen
Oh, he was taking a poop.
trains.
How do I attach a sword to this sword? But you know what, though? This game already has, like, you can electrify your shit and make it, like,
No, you gotta be kidding me.
set enemies on fire. So it's got a decent level of customization.
Yeah, I guess guns would probably be good for this. Whoa. Nice. Whoa.
nice hair.
Yeah, I thought that was like a Medusa at first.
Oh, because it's a screamer.
Scared me. She does kind of... I guess because she was all hemmed up.
Critical,
It is nice. There's so much like variety in these zombies too, I think. Like they all do seem kind of different. There's
Yeah.
obviously like a few different body types, but like I was playing a PS2 game the other day and like every enemy like looked the same still, but it was like, you know,
Which game was it?
what the hell is it called?
The Rockstar game?
See you later, Jeff.
Whoa. No, it was the Dune PS2 game.
Oh,
Have you played that before?
no.
Oh man, it's so bad.
Nice to meet you.
Once more onto the bridge.
Should play it for a stream sometime.
Dune Knight.
Save that for
On-
yeah.
on
Save
release.
that for when the next movie comes out. Yeah. Is that this year?
Yeah. November.
Oh, man, that's just so sick. Kind of sad. Diablo 4 comes out the day I'm going to be at a concert
What day is that?
for like a few days. I'm going to like I think that's the 6th of June.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna miss the whole like launch of the game, but
Well, Jeff, you gotta understand, you're not really allowed to play Diablo anyway, so it's fine.
I feel like that's like the funnest
I'm
time
not
to play a
allowing
game
you to
like
have
that.
permission. You don't have my permission to play it. Huh? What, like on launch, you mean?
Not play it. Yeah, yeah. Because then, you know, after a few months, who the fuck cares?
Yeah, because everybody, like, is over-leveled and...
Right. But
I mean,
like,
I
all
lo-
like the min-maxing will be out. Everyone will be like, "Oh, do you got to do this?" You know what I mean? Like,
Right, and then you learn all the sweat methods.
and it kinda
Well,
ruins it.
I mean, the thing is that as far as I can tell, at least based on the betas that I've played, like your build is going to be dependent on what legendaries you end up getting. So your good build isn't something you can really just get. You can't just build for it.
You have to get lucky, and
Yeah.
that's more like Diablo 3 than 2. Or buy
Yeah.
it, of course, because it's Blizzard.
I don't think there's a real money auction house this time, so
I thought there was something.
no, there's like cosmetic based season pass, battle pass kind of thing, you know. But it's they're very, very insistent that it's all cosmetics and it's no power related things.
Now, if it's any company I trust, wow. If it's any company I trust, it's Blizzard, because they are always true to their word, like Warcraft 3 Reforged cinematics. Listen,
Custom, too.
I don't really... The problem is Blizzard has such a fucking terrible reputation at this point in time
Oh, fuck.
from every angle that it's real hard to want to trust them. I'm sure I don't need to tell you guys this. I'm preaching to the choir, but I'll be there in a second, guys. I'm just trying to...
Yeah, I think I got you far ahead.
On me, people! On me!
I think I can do this.
Let me see. It's all good.
I gotcha. I'm alive. Wait, you died already?
Yeah, we both died.
Yeah,
Oh.
you respawn behind you. It's no big deal.
That's not that bad.
Penalty. Yeah, we give him a real good penalty for that one.
This is your
I
new
might hear
Coach
this
Jumbo
voice.
voice.
Yeah, this is
I
the new
think
one.
of the ogres from Warcraft 2.
Yeah, or it's the Gumbies from Monty Python.
Nah, I'll tell you what we do. They die, and then we put them back like 25 feet.
Yeah, that sounds good. Honestly, though, I would rather have a game do that than waste my time. Like, I'm okay with this.
I was playing a survival game yesterday. You know, think like Rust kind of thing. But it's a single player. It's not like PvP, and it's got your usual like food mechanic. Like you have to eat, and then that helps keep your health up if your food is up.
Uh-huh.
So I was low on food, I was low on health, and I was in the middle of this big battle, and I died. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, shit. Well, all it does is it brings me back full health, full food, and I just go over to my corpse and pick up my stuff and continue. And it's like, why? I feel like putting any effort into like trying to feed myself is pointless if I could just die and respawn and take all my stuff back anyway.
Listen up.
Yeah.
You want to head through the gate to your right. It's
You need some, like, certain games, I'm okay. Like, this is more of, like, pulp arcadey type thing. Like, I don't need huge penalties for dying in fucking Dead Island 2, and they rightly recognize that.
Oh, there's
But-
a little trap here.
Yeah, there's some games that you... where a little bit of, incentive to survive and stay alive is nice. That's another reason why I really
Yeah.
like Elden Ring and the bonfire system. And like Elden Ring had a good balance. I felt like there were a lot of better checkpoints than they would have done in the past. But you really want to stay alive and find that next one. And then if you get back, you get your stuff back. But you have to like get there and not fucking die first.
Yeah, the FromSoft requirement of doing as well as you did on your last run in order to continue. It's like a good metric of your. It makes you feel like you're gaining skill as you play. Like it's a more recognizable way of seeing your progress.
Yeah.
Kill them all. Okay.
Good.
Slobber!
I'm going fury mode.
Wish I picked up that blue gun you guys found. Might not have been even a gun for me, because I've noticed sometimes.
Whoa. I'm down.
Oh shit!
Hold on. I'm waiting for the fire to finish before you to go in there and pit.
Getting-
Action.
Getting barbecued.
No. Never mind. The only problem with like the stronger zombies is that you can't do the whole like cut their leg off thing.
Yeah, it's a mechanic you get used to. You just die, Jeff.
Mm-hmm. It's all good.
You ain't dead yet.
Ah,
I just respawned right next to you.
Ability unlocked. Overhead smash.
I got spitting cobra.
Press Q
Yeah,
in
so
fury
did I.
mode.
You're really doing it. Well, good luck, and give him hell from me.
Thanks. Wait, what do you mean good luck? Hello?
I'm not gonna lie. It's tough beyond this gate.
Hey, I've done middle-aged bachelorette parties. If I can survive those.
I blew her arm off. It's sick.
a lot of huddling up here.
Yeah, this is just a complete huddle section. Are those? What are these down here? Swimsuit stuff? Or is
Yeah,
that like?
it's swimsuit? It's
Small-
swimsuit
small cloth.
bottoms.
So we were all talking about Barry, and I wanted to save it for the recording because I know there's some people that watch the stream and my videos that like that show. It's winding down. Like, what is there? Like 3 episodes left or 2?
Just 2, right?
After tonight, I want to say just 2. Yeah.
Shit. But yeah, that spoilers for Barry. Like up until the most recent episode, as of this recording, which is like season 4, episode 5 or
I can
6.
double check.
Yeah, I think it's 6.
Yeah, that would make sense if there's 2 left. Yeah.
Yeah, there's 2 left. That was episode 6.
But the show is fucking insane. The theory that you guys are talking about is like, oh, it's not even real. And I can see why you would say that. I think it's real. I just think it's fucked up.
Yeah, I thought it was fine and real, like last episode, but this episode puts it way more into question for me. Just because of Sally.
Yeah, that whole scene with Sally's like really fucked up. Because yeah, she's like either she's delusional and wrecked the place herself because she's on like some kind of episode. But regardless of what that is, I don't know. I mean, just I guess Henry Winkler didn't kill his son, so that's nice.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty clear. I didn't think he ever did. Like, it was clear that he shot him in the shoulder. So, I assumed he was alive.
Yeah, the reason I say I feel like it's a dream, it's just like a lot of it reminds me of Sopranos, I guess. I don't know, like some weird Sopranos feels to like, especially with that closing scene when they're looking at the door. Like, I don't know if you thought about that at all, but it just reminded me of that. That dream that Tony has when he's like walking towards the door and
Yeah. No, it's definitely there. I mean, and Bill Hader definitely like has taken influence. Like I see it from like all the best shows, and not just Bill Hader, but like the whole staff, the whole like team of the movie. But yeah, it could be a dream, or it could be a number of like dream sequences all like looped to, stitched together. Who knows?
Or yeah, like someone's having an episode, like something like that. Even though I feel like that would be a cop out, or it's like we're watching like the movie, or you know what I mean? It's like
sure,
it's like I don't know. I just feel like some weird thing is gonna happen at the end like that.
Well, it already took a weird turn because like he's now captured by the Janice's father. I forget his name.
Yeah,
but I mean the show is really good. But if anything, I'm not rooting for Barry. I used to.
You're not supposed to. They like you can read in a couple of interviews that Hader was starting to worry about the fact that people were rooting for Barry when you're really not supposed to. So he's like adding certain things to the show just to try and like convince people to stop rooting for the psychopathic murderer.
Well, it's because he's quirky.
Yeah, it is. It's exactly it.
You know,
it kind of feels like we're a little too like Dexterized, where you know you were supposed to root for Dexter because he was killing other killers, but
I'm down. No, I'm not. Never mind.
But maybe you're really not supposed to be rooting for the extrajudicial murderer.
Dave?
Hey, I mean it's
yeah.
Go ahead, Jeff.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
I was gonna say people want to fuck Jeffrey Dahmer because the guy who played him in the most recent show, Evan Peters, is good looking.
Yeah.
And even before that, people were still like really into Dahmer, but you know, for some reason, like we got a lot of really interesting fucking people on this planet. So the fact that people were rooting for Barry doesn't really surprise me.
It's more of like the anti-hero thing too. I feel like that's like where the line blurs though, obviously. And like, I don't know. It's so many shows though. It's like been going on for so long. It feels like that. Just like to appeal to people, they need to have like a sympathetic character, even if they're bad. But I guess that's why those shows are so cool, because it does blur the line. Like, you know, Breaking Bad, fucking Saul, etc.
Well, the characters are interesting, and I think Tony Soprano probably helped pave the way for that stuff.
And even before that, I mean, I don't know. There's...
What's the water for? It's like a decontamination area.
Could be.
I think it's because people believe like there could be retribution for a character too. They're like, oh, you know what I mean? Like they want to be like, it's not too late for me. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Sure.
That's what some people think.
I think that's a good sentiment to have. Oh fuck. Down.
Get
and I
this
think
guy down.
that's a good thing to have. Like people do have hope and try to find the good in other people, which is nice. But like,
but yeah, it's real unrealistic when like applied to real life. Where it's like,
especially a character like Barry.
It's like, yeah, this guy killed someone in your family. You're not gonna be fucking. You don't have any sympathy for them, probably.
No. But Walter White, even at the end, spoilers for the very last episode of Breaking Bad. If anyone hasn't seen it, you have 5 seconds. 3,
yo,
2,
purple
1.
axe, yo.
Where are you, Jeff?
Found some sick shit over here. Back up.
Oh yeah, it's just blue for me.
Oh,
I already, yeah, and I already have a blue tire iron.
I just got a purple axe. It looks like some Conan shit.
But like at the end of Breaking Bad, Walter White saves Jesse from Nazis. Like they gave him not a full redemption by any means, but they gave him like not even a redemption. They just gave him something to do that is like not a selfish thing for once. Which, you know, then you have the ability to just root for Walter White for some reason, because again, that show suffered the same problem that Barry does, which is people were rooting for. It happens the same way. It's the same thing. Crazy. You were gonna say, Dave?
Just like, how did Jesse get there in the first place? Whose fault was that?
Walt?
Like, yeah, like fixing a problem that you solved does not make you a good person.
No, but he could have chosen to like not do it. It's not a redemption. It's not a redemption arc. It is just one final act of him being less shitty than usual.
Yeah.
I don't think Barry's gonna get even anything close to that.
Not in its current state, no.
But I think it's such a nice foil too to like some dumb like Marvel shit. You know, not to say all Marvel stuff is bad, but like
a lot of it is pretty dumb.
To have like some dark anti-hero, like people want to see that. They want to see like, you know, the fucking bad guy gonna do some evil shit. You know, like I don't know.
No, and complex.
Clearly it works. You know?
Complex stuff too, because in his mind, he's like Barry's like really conflicted. The writing is really good because I say conflicted as if it isn't all sociopathic confliction, but it is right. But in his own fucked up mind, and you know him going like he was in Afghanistan. You know he was raised by this dude. What's his name? Milton from Office Space. Yes, him.
The Raven.
So they give you
that was
some stuff to look at.
That
What's
was
up?
the best scene in like the show for me, I think, almost. When
Which
Hicks
one?
walks out of jail.
Oh yeah, then they play The Wizard by Black Sabbath.
Oh my god, that whole sequence is so good.
A little finger waggle.
Yeah, that was perfect. He's just amazing. Stephen Root is an amazing character actor. He is like,
He is.
I think a top 5 character actor like of all time at this point. But that's just my opinion.
No, I'm with you on that. It's fun to go back and like look at his old credits to be like, oh, he was in that too. Oh, he was in that. Like, there's so many different places I didn't know he was in before. But
because he's reliable and he's amazing.
Yeah.
But
and he's actually like a different person most of the time. He's not typecast into anything.
Well, Milton from Office Space to Fuchs from Barry, it's like holy fuck, that's night and day.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he was like kind of like upset because Fuchs is like Fuchs is like a baby. He was saying, I guess, to like Bill Hader or something. So now they're letting him like, not, you know, he comes out like all tatted up and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just gotta get past hotel security. No bother.
But they do give Barry at least some, like when you say, Jeff, it's not some Marvel shit. The best, honestly, the best Marvel thing I've seen in years was the dark Rocket Raccoon stuff in the new Guardians movie. It actually is, it's not particularly complex, but it's really, really well done and really fucked up and really dark. But yeah, I agree. Like that's kind of sometimes you want to explore the darker side of the human condition and not just have it be like superheroes.
And it feels like there's more at stake when it's like, you know, it's a question of whether or not the guy that you want to win at the end is going to win, or what you want to happen is going to happen. You know what I mean? In a Marvel movie, it's almost like, well, I know walking out of here, there's going to be a good guy ending or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, or just like superhero movie or like, you know, basic action flick without much thought put into it. That's why No Country for Old Men has become one of my favorite movies. But
I was literally just thinking about bringing up that movie. I was going to say
Anton Chigurh, like,
it's like
as a villain
great example.
But like that movie switches gears a couple times, and there's no real resolve other than shit's fucked. but
Right.
you do get something out of it, and the journey of that movie is endlessly rewatchable as far as I'm concerned. You could watch, like, that's a movie that could be watched a lot, and you could still get something out of it.
Cormac McCarthy is
Oh,
insane.
you have to
I've
hold
read
it
a
down.
bunch of his books, but
You think?
that movie does show
I'll do
that
it.
whole side of the, you know, evil being a thing that is real, but like not in a comic book way. Whoa. Oh, I fucked up.
Here, I got it over here.
I got it. Thank you.
I could do with some new kicks after my sewer.
That's really weird how
Might do a little light.
the game doesn't tell you have to hold the button down.
Want a burger? Burger 66.
That looks like not a burger. Hold on, I'm reading this.
I
now.
don't. Yeah, I don't know what's in there.
It just looks like
It's like
wings.
chickens.
Yeah.
That is no. Stop that. Don't do that.
Bone-in wings too.
I wonder if we'll find anything liminal in this mall.
Mhm.
The fuck?
It is like an interesting theme of all these shows and like Breaking Bad and Saul and Barry too, to an extent. Not just like the context of the show, but like where it takes place and like the setting and
Oh, it all
compared
adds
like, a
to
lot
it.
of yeah, and like then look at like, you know, No Country for Old Men and I don't know, it's just interesting.
You mean those specific locations, or just the locations in general, like what they bring to the
just
table?
like the hopelessness of like where they are, and like today when Fuchs was looking out from that house in Hollywood or whatever in the hills, and it's just like, you know,
Yeah.
the hills don't look like that great. It just looks like unrendered fucking wilderness. I don't know. It's funny. It's one thing about California. I'm down now, actually. Just got smacked down.
I mean, we're in California right now in this game, so it's just on topic. But like when it comes to that sort of thing, the closest thing that I watched recently for the very first time was the Taxi Driver, Scorsese.
Yeah.
And that's New York, so that's a little different than what we're talking about. But just in terms of like anti-hero, that is what's so interesting about that movie is I get why it's still being discussed. Oh god, some nice lag going on here for me.
Yeah, when you think about when that movie came out and like what else was coming out around that and like what people were like going to see and like, I don't know, definitely was a big difference.
Yeah, that was a sea change from what I understand, but also 70s cinema in general, there were so many more risks. Like the censorship of the 50s and like some of the 60s was like lifted, and studios were taking more chances. And you have movies that end up being like incredibly like filthy. Like it just like there's a lot of fucking filthy movies. There's a couple that I can't think of the names of, but
Time for another shift, you layabout.
there's stuff that really came out in the 70s that I mean Clockwork Orange is a perfect example. But there's even worse than that like just really low budget, like
It's
fucked
true.
up, like you know, dirty grime movies. But that, and also then you have the blockbuster, like the Spielberg and Lucas blockbusters. I got you guys.
You're fine. Let's go. Fuck him up.
And then the 80s became a clown show. Like Tarantino is on record saying he thinks the 80s were kind of shit for movies. But he said compared to the 80s, like right now it makes the 80s look like everything was Citizen Kane. Like
Yeah.
he didn't say that exact thing, and I don't agree with that 100% because there are still great movies coming out these days, but yeah.
Well,
It's
the
much
look of
rarer.
things too. Like, it
It's
was-
studios being too safe. They aren't willing to take risks on interesting IPs. So like in the RLM video, I didn't watch them review Guardians because I didn't watch it yet, but I watched everything up to when they start the review, and they talk about how everything is fucking superheroes and sequels.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Hollywood is in a funk.
But the mid-budget movie has like died, which is another
Yep.
problem. But it's coming back though. They even mentioned that there's a couple things that are coming out lately. That's the streaming services kind of threw everything for a loop,
over here.
and people's attention spans also.
Yeah.
But there's still good stuff being made, and there's stuff that goes directly to streaming that can be really good. You just have to find it because there's just so much. The weird frame rate thing is happening again, where you guys are just like on the floor crawling, facing the wrong directions. But I'd rather deal with that and then get silky smooth frames on my end, so it's worth it.
All right.
All right for me.
Let me check mine. Right, I'm still at 60. I mean, really, considering it's been, what, a month since this game came out? That should have been fixed by now, but
Yeah, I agree.
whatever.
Maybe the devs just were sick of working on the game for 7 years.
Well, I mean, from what I know, it was swapped between it was swapped twice, so between 3 different developers. So technically, the people who made this game really only worked on it for the last 3 or 4 years.
Dead end.
Not to, well, actually, or anything.
No, I don't mind. I'd rather know than not.
Big guy.
Yeah, Jeff's just walking into a wall, not even like doing anything. It's a shame. Yeah, it's a shame my my display is like a weird 144. Just... I'm gonna go back to 60 for a second and see if you still end up. It's amazing how 60 just looks like 30 on this monitor. It's like so bad.
weird.
Yeah. But oh, up here, guys. Just curious to see if you guys still walk into walls.
Up here? Okay.
Hallelujah. Actually, big old bar, and it's a first class seat out of LA.
Yeah, Jeff is still walking backwards and you're sliding, so never mind. They really should have fixed this.
Backwards, man.
You are right now. You're the backwards man.
Whoa.
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 I'm here to see Dr. Reed.
Oh, you are, huh? You're not here to eat us then?
Think I've turned vegetarian.
Comedian, huh?
They look human to you.
So.
Well, okay then. Humans can be redeemed. Don't need to waste a bullet on this one. Hey, keep up the good work, Denise. Hey, I'm Dr. Reed, but you can call me Ruben. Let's talk in my office.
We spoke on the radio about the vaccine.
Hey, shh. Walk with me. I'm glad you made it. Really glad, but we gotta keep your specialness on the down low. If you really are what we've been looking for, then CDC's gonna want to talk to you. So,
Doctor, he doesn't want to take his shot.
hey, Luther. Hey, don't worry. It's just gonna pinch a bit. Let's keep walking. Where was I?
CDC's gonna...
CDC, right. The CDC's gonna... Hey, I told you to stay off that foot. You want me to cut it off? Come on. Hey,
Yeah.
this way, huh? Now. So glad you're here. Now they're gonna send a chapter to pick you up and take you to Colorado. Just you. So, I don't want my people here getting hope when they...
Just me.
Got none. You understand?
Nice to feel wanted. What about all the rest of you?
Oh, we'll be okay. Fall over 9 times and you get up 10. That's what I always say. But you got a miracle in your blood. If we can get you to Colorado, humanity has a chance.
Okay. So, when does the chopper arrive?
Well, I need to let them know you're here.
I'm gonna go see Gizzard at Red Rocks.
We're out of
That's what he's gonna do in
We
Colorado.
need to sweep those apartments before someone else cleans them
No,
out.
Tisha.
This dude's pupils are so huge. He's got to be high as fuck.
Here is our new priority.
Hey, I'm Ryan.
They're more important than people starving?
Yeah, I mean, no. I mean, kind of. I can't really talk about it right now, but...
That's fine. Look, you stay here. I'm gonna go with these guys. We'll be back soon.
Hey, you do not go outside without me. They can handle it.
Hey, Doc, you know we ran out of food.
I trust this guy.
What's the plan?
Yeah, me too.
No
I
fucking
am not
pomp.
a little girl anymore. I have to do my share.
Yeah, obviously you've lost your mind. There are terrorists out
Just
there
let her
that
go,
you...
Doc. She wants to be part of the
Jimmy!
team.
He doesn't even look like a real human.
I'm sick of
Like it looks like an action
I
figure.
need to do something.
All that's happened. You think I'm gonna let you out of my sight?
Oh,
I'm gonna let you turn into one of them like your mother?
Oh.
Tisha,
Well.
I'm sorry, but I can't lose you two.
You're right.
Well,
Dad.
that happened.
I shouldn't put this on you. It's not fair.
Well, okay then. Come on.
See you later.
Yeah. Yeah, this is no place for human beings.
Hey, Doc, a word of advice. You want to stay top dog? You let your daughter take her chances just like everyone else.
Jimmy, I have got enough things to be focusing on without your bullshit.
Looks like someone made a character in Fallout, yeah.
I'm gonna go for a smoke.
You do that.
Like a Guy Fieri, Tom Savini, like combo.
You sure? Brave choice.
Like, I need to radio CDC, but I don't want to draw too much attention to you. So, look, you make yourself at home.
Yeah, his
You should have
pupils are
some good
massive.
Sure. I'm gonna crash. I am totally whacked. And then I woke up, and it was all a dream.
And then the game ends.
Autophage.
Autophage. Check the autophage system. You're gonna
Why is there
love
so
our
much?
new system in Dead Island 2. It's called Autophage.
It's like Slender Man look card.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
it's an
don't,
action figure? Is that what it is?
I don't know what's going on here.
Retro too.
I think it's just another card.
Yeah, but then you lose your humanity.
Oh well.
Don't lose focus because taking damage will drain fury.
Hey, good to meet you. I'm Ken.
Yeah, so
This riff, sunshine, is
hit F2 and look at like what the tiers are, and those increase if you have cards with the autophage tag on it. So if you have 3 cards that have that tag, then you'll get tier 3. It's just a way of limiting what cards you can use, I think, while also additionally modifying them.
Feeling left out?
Built in a weird system that is sort of abstracted strangely. Sorry, fucking game dev brain is too turned on right now.
Yeah, I don't fully understand it, but
Yeah,
I also it seems
strange.
like if you use too many cards is bad. Okay, but you get more powerful. I thought it was like an ending modifier for a second there. Because I
Let's all
thought
look
like
at-
if you lose your humanity, then by the end of the game, you know, you get yelled at.
Come over here.
What?
Wait, he's
Yeah.
not doing it anymore.
Autophagio at the end of the
Jimmy
game.
like looks at you when you walk around him, and it like swings his head around, and he won't talk. So it just, I don't know, something about it is funny to me.
When you have like very realistic looking humans in video games and they do video game shit,
Yeah,
yeah, it can be real weird. Yeah, I see him turning his neck. Slapping him down.
but he actually looks like somebody. Nobody's gonna get this reference, but he looks like Seth Romatelli, who's
Really worries about you.
he's a podcaster.
Oh. He looks like Anthony LaPaglia. Don't worry about
He
it.
does a yeah, we'll just throw around references that nobody gets. It'll work. But I'm throwing a picture into our chat. So he is across from what's his name? Jonathan Larroquette. John Larroquette's
John
son.
Larroquette. Oh, son.
Yeah, so he does a podcast with him. I've told you about it. It's called Oh Yeah, Dude. But yeah, he used to look like that. If he had a goatee, he'd be a dead ringer.
Fucking better be. Bob's taking way too long.
Who's Bob?
Yeah, I can see
Janitor
it.
for this place.
Yep.
If you tried taking a shower, you'd know the water's out. Bob went to get it back on.
I could take a look while I'm waiting.
Are my ears working? Did someone just offer to help out? That would be great. We won't last long without fresh water.
You mind if I autophage in the bathroom?
Downstairs behind the stores.
Okay, let's see what happened.
Bro, you gotta check out my new metal band. It's called Autophage.
What is your lead singer's name?
Otto.
100%. If you look up on it's like gotta be a band already.
Good jump.
You die.
Yep, I wouldn't recommend that.
Hold on, I'm coming.
Wonder if I can make it like not as bad by hitting this.
Guess we'll find out.
Oh, they're all like level 17s though.
Less of the drama, darling.
That's what I do. I see a blue item on the ground there.
It just autophaged all over them.
Just autophaged all over that guy. What was that? Was like a morb, right? Like he morbed all. That was my favorite part of. Yeah.
That meme. Using morb as a
you could
as a verb.
Yeah, it's like when I was doing my Sunday stream, and the game Scat was in the collection.
Jeff, why do you always die in a giant
You
ball
blew
of
something
vodka
up and
that
I died.
can't pick you up from? Hold on, I figured it out on this display.
To a burning ring
you
of
go.
fire.
The hazard stuff in this game really does fucking kill me like 9 out of 10 times. Though.
Yeah.
Electricity, fire, they're fucking dangerous.
What do you think this painting means?
Oh no.
Because for me,
I heard.
well, it reminds me of the spiral of life. You know, like you defecate, and then the swirl of the toilet takes it down.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
If it looks like that, though, you should probably change your
diet. Yeah.
Or go to the doctor.
Mine's green.
I mean, depending. If it happens more than once.
Mine's green and comes out like vapor. You know, like it's not liquid or solid, it's just gaseous.
Well, if I got
that must be nice.
Business proposition for you, man.
You want to vape my farts, bro? That's right. Vinny Vinesauce farts. You can huff Vinesauce's farts. Only $59.99 per vape.
You tell people the next neon light is using your fart gases instead of Radion.
I'm thinking, give me a hit of that autophage. That's it's the latest strain.
That's the good shit. They say if you huff Vinny's autophage, you get a good audience on your Twitch channel. I'm gonna try it, bro. I'm gonna try it.
Okay, so the objective I think is this drawer that I cannot open. Can you open this drawer? Over here? Like it's highlighted white for me, but it's closed.
No.
No? Okay. I don't know what we're supposed to do then, because that's where the yellow...
I gotta see something in the ceiling.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, there's one more thing we have to find.
Janitor cup.
Got jump scared.
This is one of those look for the magnifying glass missions. Like at the pool. There we go.
Oh, she just wiped me out. I don't know what the hell happened.
A little help right now would be.
Getting wiped out here.
That's like Sam Jackson in the Star Wars Episode 2 DVD extras. People getting wiped out. Imagine that though, like, you know, you're in a Star Wars movie, and it's like your dream. Sam Jackson asked Lucas to be in the film, like he really wanted to be in that movie, from what I understand. And like, and then it's Star Wars Episode 2. Oh. And then you do the DVD commentary, and it's like, this is the best movie. You know, the writing is so strong. No, this movie is good. People getting wiped out. Like, damn, Sam.
And then you just get thrown out a window.
Yeah, but you know what? To be fair, Mace Windu has become quite a fan favorite, and has gotten plenty of development outside of the movies. So, at the very least, you know, people enjoy him. This way, guys. Even if he did get thrown out a window.
Yeah.
Also, just visually, I don't buy that Palpy was able to overpower someone like Sam Jackson. I don't know. He just looks too cool.
He wasn't able to, not until he got distracted, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. Anakin, Planikin, Mannequin went and made him distract him. Yeah, he distracted him.
Yeah. Distracted him.
Distracted him.
Oh. That was actually one thing I kind of liked about The Mandalorian this season, was they actually were like, yeah, let's go back and do some prequel fucking content again.
I'm good with prequel content if it's...
I thought that was funny.
No, I liked it too, actually. I liked the droids. I thought that episode was kind of bad, but that's a personal opinion. But anytime they bring back prequel stuff, it like, I find that interesting, like seeing like the old droids, like what they're used for, or like when Mando is in Tatooine and there's pit droids. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, and that's for the goofiest shit for fucking, what's her name,
Amy
I can't
Sedaris.
remember her name. Yeah, like, I don't know. The fact that she's even in the show is funny as fuck.
Listen, Jeff, it's not a great show, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and I like watching it. And I'll just say, yeah, there's a lot of goofy decisions and a lot of wasted time. But, you know, time you enjoyed wasting was not time wasted, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, there's entertainment and then there's quality entertainment. This is just entertainment.
It's entertainment.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It's fun.
I like that they are, like, you know, Dave is bringing the, you know, the Star Wars Rebels shit into it and stuff. And I
Yeah,
kinda
like
that.
Zeb. And fucking Thrawn is coming back, which is neat.
And I do love Thrawn. I mean, I'm a sucker for that. So
yeah, Thrawn's great. I'm all down for it. Like, listen, I didn't love the season of Mandalorian, like not as much as season 1, but I'm gonna say it was fun to watch, and I'm glad I did watch it.
there's so much dumb shit too. I mean, everything that's happened in the show is like doesn't matter at a certain point. But you know, if you're willing, if you can ignore that, then
we talked Andor, right? You haven't seen that yet, right?
no, I will. It's one of those things where it's like I'm gonna be bored one day and like, oh yeah, I could just watch Andor, just fucking watch all this. I'm not into the Star Wars again now. You know what I mean? But
right.
You know what? I bet I'll play that new Jedi Survivor game or something like that, and I'll probably be like, okay, this is when I'm gonna
Gotta watch it. Yeah. It really is. It's really worth watching, but you know, again, you got to kind of get into the mindset of the slow burn equals reward versus just like you know, Mando flying around in a Naboo starfighter, which is cool, but it's
not just that. It's like, you know, just Rogue One was just not my favorite thing. Like, so stuff with Rogue One isn't really like, oh my god,
Same.
this lady.
It's okay.
But basically everyone is saying, yeah, the show's awesome. Fuck, now my fucking sword broke.
This is all very difficult, and we're not like the right level.
Just shoot him.
Or rather,
did we not do certain side quests that we were supposed to do? Maybe
it's because we haven't done any side quests. Probably, yeah.
I think multiplayer makes it harder too. Honestly,
it does not actually. From what I hear, it's actually way harder in single player. Yeah.
I thought maybe it was like weighted.
At least from what I've read, the game actually is way easier in multiplayer because of the fact that you can actually like balance against what you're fighting. I don't think that they changed the number of zombies or the HP of the zombies based on how many people there are. There's just no balancing at all. So.
And Jeff, I will say, just to end my thoughts on the Andor thing, I also did not give a single fuck generally about Rogue One, aside from cool space battles.
Right.
And yet now, I would say Andor is, I just know this is going to be hyperbolic. My opinion may change in a couple years, and I'm willing to let that happen. To me, this is maybe my favorite Star Wars since the original trilogy. And I'm happy that it exists, and I hope season 2 doesn't get fucked up.
When's that coming out?
See, it's being filmed right now, but they're also continuing to film it during a writer's strike.
Yeah,
that's worrying for anything. But
yeah, I don't like the sound of that.
I'm gonna be glad we got what we did. That's like I'm calling it right now. I'm throwing in the towel. I'm glad we had what we got. If it still ends up being good, I'll be happy, but I'm not holding out any hope.
It's fair. I'm not exactly hopeful, but with the showrunner involved...
Well, that's questionable how involved the showrunner actually is.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, that showrunner, tell Denise Bob won't be coming back. Oh, we gotta go back up. I forgot the showrunner's name, but it's really, really good. So anyway, yeah, one day you'll get to it, Jeff. But it's also good TV, and there's a character that's played by Stellan Skarsgård that, you know, we were talking about like gray, morally gray characters earlier. What's the
Which
opposite?
one is that? The father?
Huh?
Or is he? How many of them? There's so many of them. I get them all
Father.
mixed up.
He plays Harkonnen. Baron Harkonnen.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
So he's not an anti-hero. He's like a hero anti, in a way. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Because he's not a bad character. He's a good character that has to do bad things. That's all I'll say about it. But his arc and his character is very, very fucking well written and very interesting. And you're like, wait a minute. Why is this guy in Star Wars?
Right.
And it's like just elevating the material.
Can you remind me who, like, what character he is? Without spoiling, I guess. Is that possible?
Runs a shop.
Oh. Okay, I think I know
Does
what you're talking
a monologue.
about. Does a monologue. No, I gotta look it up. I gotta remember.
We have to. How do we go back to Denise? Oh, I guess we go outside and around.
Oh, okay. I was mixing up my Skarsgårds.
Who'd you think he was? Pennywise?
Isn't there a door? There's a third brother, isn't there? Isn't there three of them?
There's a lot of Skarsgårds out there, aren't there?
Oh my God, there's more.
Hey, Andor. You want
Anyways,
to come down to the sewers of Coruscant?
Yeah, I kind of want a show about him. I want the Skarsgård show. Luthen Rail?
The Luthen, yeah.
Luthen. Yeah, I want a Luthen. Just give me a Luthen show. I'll watch that. Any day of the week. But yeah, like, he's utilized very well. I'm not gonna say anything else.
Yeah.
Hero anti. I like that. I like hero anti.
Yeah, I don't really know a good way to say that, so I just, you know.
Did you guys?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought maybe you're done.
No, I am. I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done.
Did you guys watch Bad Batch at all? I couldn't. I like Clone Wars, and I did not like Bad Batch at all.
No, I haven't seen any of it.
It got better, but yeah.
Joe really likes Bad Batch, so he's
Some people
enjoying
really,
that.
really love the clone trooper shit. Like,
Yeah. I couldn't care less, but I know other people are really into it.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a strong opinion of them one way or another, but I didn't watch very much Clone Wars.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, the other show I was watching, I told you guys about this, but I think you should leave. That's got another season, like, in a week or soon?
Yeah, soon.
Yeah, May 30th. I'm actually going to see Connor O'Malley on the day it comes out, so I hope he like
stand up.
Yeah. Which I'm sure is going to be insane. I don't even know what the fuck his set is going to be like.
Fix the water before he got irreversibly dismembered.
Oh yeah? That helps. A lot.
But he was great
You know,
in his
there's plenty of other
appearances
folks
in that
missing.
show
A
too.
whole bunch
Oh, it
of
was
them
fucking hilarious.
He's like following him around because of the
He's back in his
fucking bumper
office. He
sticker.
wanted it.
Lovely. Thanks, Denise.
I'd join you out there, but there's no one else I trust to keep this place secure.
I said it before, but if I had the ability to do a show of some kind, it would probably be formatted just like that one.
Hey, Ruben. Hey.
Yeah, because it's not going to land with everybody, like every single thing. So it's like, whatever, gets in, gets out. You know, let it land. Doesn't, then on to
It
the
just
next
seems fun. It just seems like they're having
that
fun.
Isn't calling the shots anymore. The military have taken control.
And you can just write an idea that you film for 1 minute and then you just move on if you want.
They're just so paranoid
Right.
about the virus escaping from LA. They know they can't contain
This
it.
guy's on so much acid.
What, we send a video of zombies chewing on me?
Nothing quite so crude as that. But we have to test you. But my equipment is at the CDC HQ by Santa Monica Pier.
And I was looking forward to a drink at the bar. Okay, I'll go.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think you should go alone.
Not alone.
It's okay. I am immune. I can look after myself. Hey, we fell over. We have to get up again, right?
I'll get knocked down. Well, I'll get up again.
Good.
With proof.
It's like one of the first CDs I bought.
Oh my god, you just reminded me what my first CD I bought was. Jock Jams.
Oh.
Yeah. Remember that being like huge.
What's Jock Jams?
You don't remember that?
Oh my god, come on. You don't know Jock Jams?
It was all at the same time period.
Yeah.
Surprising. It was basically the predecessor of now that's what I call music, kind of.
And it had like really good remixes of stuff. That's why I bought it, because I liked the remix. I don't know, I think it was just called the Jock Jam or something like that.
That was one really cool thing about the 90s that completely died, was like compilation albums for different things. Like that's how I got into a lot of different bands.
Was there a workbench up there?
I think so.
Probably.
Never mind. You don't want to fight that zombie. Got a skull. Compilations and music soundtracks for movies.
Oh yeah, soundtracks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
the Braveheart soundtrack. I remember getting like, oh, dude, sick. It's so fucking. Let's do it once. And it was like, oh man, why did I get this?
Yeah. That was me with the GoldenEye soundtrack. I talked about that. I thought it was going to be the game, and it was the movie, and it turns out the GoldenEye movie has one of the worst soundtracks of all of the Bond films. It's so
great.
bad. It's so bad. And most, you know what? And a lot of James Bond fans would say the same thing. That movie soundtrack sucks, but the game is incredible.
That's imagine being the composer for who did the composing for GoldenEye?
Well, John Barry is the James Bond guy who's done most of them, so his themes are used. But they wanted GoldenEye to have a more hip, modern, mid-90s techno drum and bass thing. So he didn't do that.
It was Grant Kirkhope with Robert Beanland and Graham Norgate. So,
you mean for Rare? Oh yeah, that's Grant Kirkhope. Yeah, that's classic.
Well, I wasn't 100% sure, because I'm more used to like not his remixes, but his original stuff. But yeah, that's
well, that's why they just did their own thing. Like they took the James Bond theme and then they just kind of extrapolated it and wrote some new stuff that didn't sound very much like GoldenEye the movie at all. So that was a bad soundtrack to own. That was a regret. That was a waste of money. That and also, like I mentioned, the Top Gun soundtrack, but also like Empire Records, Can't Hardly Wait. A lot of those movies I really liked. The soundtrack too. Just any movie that was on HBO frequently that I would... Oh my god, that is gruesome. Any movie that was on HBO a lot, if it had a good soundtrack, I would always stay for the credits and just like, oh, I'd be like, oh, Tub Thumping by Chumpawamba. Amazing.
Oh yeah, I was too stupid to figure that out when I was a kid.
Wait, what were you too stupid to figure out?
Sam Goody and pick up the CD.
They would show all the songs at the end.
Oh, okay. So you were talking about what Tub Thumping meant.
Remember, like hearing a song you liked, like on the radio or something, and then being like, "Wait, what was that?" And then like not
gone forever
figuring it out.
Yeah, that happened to me a lot.
I actually, I think it was in college, I emailed the DJ of a radio station, and I said, at this time of night, you played something, what was it? And they actually responded, telling me what it was. It was Franz Ferdinand's "Take Me Out."
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Very specific.
We are in a very specifically weird age group, though. Like, my friend Tyler and I were talking about this the other night. Like, we grew up without the internet, and then we got the internet. You know, we've talked about this on the stream, and I'm sure all three of us have talked about it, but it's weird because we had access to the internet, like, real late in our adolescence. And we still had to buy music. And so we got like the benefits. We watched the internet kind of like become a thing. But we also know what it's like to have bought music or not known the song that was played on the radio. I recorded lots of tapes. I would listen to the radio and just record like directly to cassettes. So I had, oh my god. I did, oh my god.
I did that with Dr. Demento.
Okay, so I just remembered the most like embarrassing, cringy thing I think I've done in my childhood. So I recorded the radio on a full cassette, 90-minute cassette, but it was just me changing channels. And I gave it to my cousin as a birthday gift.
Mixtape.
But no, it was like, here's 3 seconds of this song, and then 10 seconds of this song, and then I would just switch.
Oh.
You know, and like you'd hear the tracking, like while I was doing it. Now, the reason I did that is because I bought a Nirvana CD with something called Montage of Heck on it, where he did something similar. And I thought it was fascinating, and I listened to it a bunch. And anyway, point is, I thought I was cool, and my cousin looked at me like I was insane. So that was a moment.
Okay, eyes open.
That's pretty good.
We're going into the sewer.
I guess so. But the other thing I was going to say is that there's a generation of kids that just had to, you know, if they wanted music, it's just on Napster or it's on Spotify or something or YouTube. And it's like, it's hard to explain what it was like when...
Well, it's
it's
like, okay, so you have all that information, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, where do you don't know where to look, you know what I mean? It's like, you don't have the viewfinder to really like figure out, you know, okay, now I can download songs, but what do I download? What's it called? Like all that stuff, you know what I mean? Like,
you had to download like full discographies sometimes.
And, you know, things would be mislabeled and stuff like that, and
viruses.
A lot of things
like
on
bad quality.
is like, you got to download the stuff that the most people have downloaded because that's the way to get it downloaded. You know what I mean? Like the most people sharing it, rather, or the fastest connection.
Fastest connection too, and hope that there was no like weird artifact noise on the file. But yeah, like if you liked, when I got into Led Zeppelin, I bought some CDs, but then I also was able to go onto like, you know, Napster and download, but I just downloaded the entire thing if I could. Like, this was not early Napster. This might have been just LimeWire, you know? And sometimes the songs had like skips in the middle, sometimes they weren't even the right fucking version.
Oh,
Especially
the
what was
classic,
popular.
the classic ripped from the radio songs, like you hear the DJ before the song and after the song for some reason.
Yeah, that happened too.
The title would be like 311 Incubus Radiohead.
Right?
Like, and it's like, well, what fucking band is that? It's like the person, whatever, they would just put those names in there to get people to download it, I guess. I don't know. I don't understand how it happens.
Or like, instead of Lithium from Nirvana, it would be Nirvana, I'm So Happy.
Right. Like, but yeah, exactly. Just like completely
I'm
mislabeled.
so happy, 'cause today... It's like, hang on a minute.
One of the first really cool when Mars Volta came out, I was really into At the Drive-In, the band they were,
Yeah, the previous one.
The post-hardcore band they were before, like, some of the members chose to become the Mars Volta. And so when the Mars Volta came out, a lot of their songs were just like demos and stuff like that. And there was a EP, the Tremulant EP. That came out. 3 songs. And then a bunch of other stuff got credited to them. Like, some was them, some wasn't. And there's this one song, and it said it was the Mars Volta, and it was Dumbwaiters. It was like, yeah, it's a Mars Volta Psychedelic Furs cover, and it was not. So for the longest time, I thought that the Mars Volta covered this Psychedelic Furs song, but it was like this completely different band and stuff. It was so weird. It was like mislabeled.
And that's how, like, now think about our parents' generation. I remember, like, when I was getting into Pink Floyd, my father was telling me, like, urban legends that he heard about Pink Floyd, and not just Wizard of Oz, but like other weird stuff. And then like, the singer of this band was castrated, and that's why they can sing like this. And like, when someone believes that for 20 years, good luck telling them that's not the case, especially if they're stubborn.
I know, it's funny that is what used to be a problem, and now it is a problem. Like, it's like 2 sides of the same thing. It's like, I don't know. I can't verbalize it exactly, but it's like the same thing as, like, you could say something like that, people would run with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that the internet is a thing. I don't know, because it almost, like, amplifies it.
You can also get whatever you want from the internet, whether or not you want to confirm your beliefs on something or disprove the belief. It's not hard to find a source.
Exactly.
So it doesn't, you're right, it doesn't matter anymore. It sucks that it's like that, but what were you going to say, Dave?
I don't know. I saw Autophage, I saw Bloodborne. I figured there was a joke in there.
Oh, okay. I looked at it. It was nice. What's up, Jeff?
Nothing. It's just like the hourglass thing. It's like big problem that we're, I don't know exactly how to verbalize it, but it's just funny that it's the same issue with like telephone games, stuff like that on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Urban legends.
Yeah, it's the same thing now. It's just a little different because you can find the information as opposed to just find out from your friend Becky.
Right.
It's like, well, maybe some of that stuff isn't all that great either. Or maybe, people make shit up just to fuck with people. It happens.
People just will what they want to existence.
It's like tulpas.
Yeah.
And it's dangerous. I mean, like, we can joke about it, but it is dangerous. And I've seen people go down rabbit holes, and then if you already have something in your brain that's not, it's not that great. Maybe you're not in a good place mentally, and then you get some like fucked up information. It's not good.
Yeah, definitely. It's a whole fucking shit show.
But anyway, as we were saying, yeah, I was downloading all kinds of stuff, but having to not know what the song was and just hope that you heard it on the radio was certainly, it's one of those things that I'll never forget. And I still have some of those tapes, and they still work, of like me recording Black Hole Sun or like Stone Temple Pilots, or even like, oh god, I recorded even some hip hop. Like I was recording Tupac. I gotta be honest, the reason I recorded Tupac is because I thought my friends at school would think I was cool.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't. They never did. It's fine. I was like one of 3 people that liked rock music in my class. Everyone else was into like Boys to Men and like what's Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls? Who's that?
TLC.
Okay.
Left Eye and Right Eye and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that music video being, I was like, whoa, that's sick.
Yeah, they were like running around chasing waterfalls. It was really crazy.
And then they waterfalled all over that guy.
Uh-huh.
I'm just doing some some upgrading and stuff. The TLC Tugger. It's the only shirt that you can pull.
Dude, while you do that, I'm gonna use the bathroom. Here, let me represent myself here. There we go.
The other way to get songs back then too was like all those fucking like infomercial compilations CDs that would be on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Like remember the heavy metal one that was on all the time?
No.
There's like the damn Yankees are in it and stuff like that. The guy jumping out of an airplane in the fucking commercial. You never saw that one?
No.
What? I remember seeing that one a billion times. There was a Monty Python commercial that used to be on sometimes. I remember for like all the VHSs or something like that.
Oh, like it was just the whole collection of Monty Python?
Yeah, it was like on at Nick at Night or something like that. They used to advertise that all the time. But they never had Monty Python like on or anything like that. But
the Monty Python, that's another thing. Like I got into Monty Python from HBO. And I just remember them playing, and now for something completely different, which was like a movie of their best sketches that they redid the sketches for. And I watched it so many times. Like in the morning in particular, because they used to play it in the morning. And I just remember that was like an eye-opening thing for me. But yeah, I don't remember the commercial.
Real bad vibes here.
yeah, that's how I knew some of the skits. Honestly, was from it was like a fucking 5-minute commercial that they would show sometimes. I'll have to see if I could find it for you. You could probably watch it. Like, well, maybe you could.
I might even recognize it
or something like that.
There's a chance I would
show,
know.
you know, the Spanish Inquisition skit. Like, you get like the entire skit basically from the commercial. Like,
yeah,
not that there's like a lot to it, but like.
But I can also see that turning people off. Like, because if you're not into that sort of humor, it's got to seem like the dumbest shit ever.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Way out of that morgue rack came down here and ripped its way through the staff. Poor bastards. Too late. You realize too late.
Yeah, I mean, there's tiers of Monty Python, I guess. Like, not everybody is. You got to be a little bit of an Anglophile to like be completely into it. You know what I mean? Like a fan of British culture, I think, and stuff like that. But like Monty Python, the Holy Grail, stuff like that. Like that appeals to everybody, I think. At a certain
Holy Grail, I think appeals. Yeah, I agree with that. Like Holy Grail, Life of Brian, those two are pretty more widely appealing. The show from the late 60s, that is extremely, first of all, it's of its time.
Right.
Some of it has aged particularly well because it's just dumb, silly humor. But some of it is like specific references. They tried to avoid like politician discussion or like, you know, in the show they didn't really talk too much about current events. Specifically, like, oh, here, let's talk about this particular news anchor in Britain. Whereas SNL, if you go back to 70s SNL and you watch like Weekend Update, you're going to be lost.
Yeah.
But Python's a little bit, because I watched the entirety of the Monty Python show, some of it a couple times, and some of it's just real general. Some of it's real general humor, like just wordplay. Like one guy's weird, and everyone else is like, why is this guy weird? And then another guy ends up being weird. But other than that, yeah, especially later seasons in the show, Jeff, it's extremely British. It's extremely specifically British. Maybe not like a specific person, but just an attitude. And so, yeah, I had to learn about, like, to get some of their jokes, I had to learn. But I also watched a lot of that Japanese show, the Gaki no Sekai show, with the You Laugh, You Lose. And I have no frame of reference. And in that show, they have Japanese celebrities. So they'll be in a hospital, and then a Japanese celebrity shows up. I'm like, I don't know why this is funny. Why are they laughing? And then you find it
Were you
like
just
it's
watching
there.
that,
Huh?
like were you like watching it on the internet, or like how were you watching that back then?
10 years ago, I was watching that. Even more than 10.
Okay.
I
I was gonna
downloaded
say, I
it.
thought that was long time ago. Yeah.
That's like Pirate Bay
Okay.
shit, truthfully.
Oh, I thought
Well,
I didn't know if it was like if it was before that. I thought maybe that's what you're referring to.
No, I was watching it probably starting around 2009, 10, and I found it because of a clip of like 10.10.1, 10.10.2, 10.10.3. It was a YouTube.
Yeah.
It was a YouTube
Yeah.
video. It went viral.
Okay.
And I was like, what the fuck is this? Then I saw another one where if they laughed, they got hit on the ass with a stick. I was like, what is wrong with these people? Like, why are they doing this to themselves? And then I said, fuck it, I'm going to find it and watch it. And then I downloaded it from Pirate Bay with subs, yeah.
Yeah, you can
thought
get
you meant
all
it
of
was,
it
like,
now legally.
Way earlier or something.
No.
At least I think it's legal.
Just my bag.
What's legal?
You can watch all of it from a website. Like, they have everything full subs. It's pretty great.
I'm going to need that. I need that website soon.
Oh, yeah, I mean, if you want it, it's there. It's really nice, high quality, everything. But yeah, since the site is there, just hosting it, even though it's over, like, I think it's legal.
I mean, they still do stuff, but I guess they don't do their you laugh, you lose stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
The
They
Batsu
had
game.
to they had to stop because of COVID, and then they just never went back. So people just assumed they retired it.
I would imagine they would come back to it, like, for a special one-off at some point, but... And they're also in their 60s now, some of them, I think.
Yeah, yeah, they're aging, and like, I think originally it was supposed to be a one-off, and then it was just so popular that
Yeah.
they just kept going with it.
Because originally, they did, like, a challenge where if Matsumoto won a race, he would punish them. If they won, they punished him.
Mhm.
And then, like, he came up with the gym, and then they did, like, a you laugh, you lose thing. It's a weird, convoluted thing, but the point I'm trying to make with it is, it's great, but a lot of the references, like... Where are... I don't know what we're looking for.
I think I figured it out, because we're trying to fix a thing in the middle, and there's a yellow wire. Here we go. You had to follow a yellow wire, which, you know, you would miss it if you're in the middle of talking to friends.
Yeah, and also, there's stinky poison gas here. But what I was trying to say is, yeah, they'll have, like, a celebrity, and then I look it up. Like, for a while, I was looking up, like, why am I not getting this joke? And some of the subtitles would explain it.
Yeah.
And it would be like, this is the equivalent of, like, Bill Murray in Japan. Or
So
like,
I wish that
yeah.
that's what it was. I was actually going to say, like, I wish they would put in this is their equivalent, but for everyone I watched, there was never that. It was just this person's a popular celebrity who's known for this. Like, it didn't give me that context that you're saying, which I would love more of.
Yeah, it wasn't a ton of context, but it was enough. Also, sorry viewers if you're really, really, like, chomping at the bit for more Dead Island story. And we're just talking over it. I understand some people probably are watching for that reason, and I'm sorry. This has become a podcast video.
I actually don't think anybody is here for that. I really, maybe I'd be surprised, but I feel like
maybe two
there's
people.
really, like, it's a zombie game. Like, since when was a zombie? There's probably one out there, and I want to know what it is. What's a good zombie game plot? You know, there's Last of Us.
But
And
that's
then
more
what?
character centric than anything else, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's not really a zombie story.
Well, most good zombie stories are, from what I've heard a smarter person say in my life, are not about the zombies, but they're about a reflection of society.
and the person you heard it from said it just like that.
I blame society. That's right.
I like that other voice is becoming a Vincent Price kind of voice.
Which one, Jeff?
The one you did I don't know, just like a little logo.
For what? What's
society?
Society.
Or maybe more. Or well.
Well, that was, from me, that's a Repo Man reference. The dude who's like dying on the ground, he's like, I blame society! And he's just a terrible actor.
Subject. Better check around here.
I don't know what I'm looking for here. So, Dorian was called away.
There we go.
Another subject.
All right, P3.
I love that the game is trying real hard to get me to care about this.
Jacob,
I mean, basically the story is you got bit, I guess. Now we have to do things. I think that's like every zombie game that they've made.
There we go.
I'm more impressed by the infinite water can.
Okay, I see it.
So, stick your arm into it.
Done. No way. Got my arm.
Just relax. It has to keep you steady so we can take the samples.
My character just said strong pelvic floor.
Good.
That's amazing.
Sounds like you're done. Now, the sample will dispense from the side.
Got it.
Are there worm-like things wriggling around in it?
What?
Kidding. We're good.
You are really not helping, Doc.
That's kind of funny.
I'm out of here.
So yeah, we're all getting different lines when our character speaks, and when you think about it, there's been like instances where another character says something and our character makes a joke, and then they respond to the joke. So somebody had to write 6 different jokes that have the same
Cadence,
like call and reaction and cadence, and yeah, all of that.
Looks like a laptop.
Oh, sure.
I'm on the other side of the door.
Some milk? Some bread? A fruit basket, maybe? Okay.
Okay, there we go.
Hopefully at the lifeguard HQ. I sent someone to retrieve it from the pier, but lost contact.
I'll take a look.
see if I can upgrade this gun. I have a gun that shoots like acid now. Huh.
Pretty sick.
I gotta be honest, the next sequence we're about to do is something I'm very, very nostalgic for. Just the sight of like, that's what Wildwood looks like pretty much. It's just like, you know, a Ferris wheel and rides on a pier at the beach.
So, myself and Dr. Myers checked your results twice, thoroughly, and we both came to the same conclusion. I'm very sorry, but you've tested positive.
Okay.
Now, we have phone lines ready if there's anyone you'd like to talk to. Otherwise, we have...
It does look pretty cool.
who have been very helpful
Yeah.
with this sort of diagnosis.
Lighting's nice.
They may be able to help
Water's
you
all
find
right
some,
over here.
Well, some resolution.
Sure. So, when can I get out of here?
Well, I'm afraid that's impossible. And because we're still figuring out the nature of the infection, we unfortunately can't offer you much time today. We've already had to...
Are you listening to this audio journal?
I'm kind of listening.
I was just wondering if it was playing for you or not.
Likely he's going to want to do an autopsy given the nature of your infection. We do have a menu prepared when you're ready.
No. All right, Sergeant. Yeah, I'm not gonna let you people cut me apart. You're wrong. I'm fine. All right, stop him. Hey.
So in Left 4 Dead 2, you remember that there's a little carnival section?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that part.
So there was a there was sort of a hack. It wasn't really a hack. It was just a console command, and you could like bind keys to console commands in that engine. I figured out how to play out of your character that you play as any voice line that they would say in the game. If it was triggered by an event, or if it was a part of a conversation. It would actually, if you hit the button and triggered the line, it would trigger other people's responses to that line. But that's besides the point here. I got Ellis to say, "Oh my God, it's Christmas," which is his reaction to seeing the roller coaster. Anytime I hit a button, he would say it. So now whenever I'm playing anything and I see a roller coaster, all I can hear in my head is Ellis saying, "Oh my God, it's Christmas."
Yeah.
They eventually patched out that ability to do that, and that's one of the reasons I hate Valve.
God damn it, Valve. What's the other reasons?
They're extremely private to the point where I can't invest money in them, and they get to keep all of it. So,
God damn it, Valve.
I want them to be a public company. Damn it.
But isn't
no work from home?
I'm
They
sure
don't open
maybe
up offices outside of Seattle.
Oh yeah. Well, here's the thing. I don't know the difference between. See, this is where my knowledge, amongst many other topics, but this particular topic, my knowledge falls very short. But what is the? Isn't there a disadvantage to being publicly owned and traded?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because you have to control your company the way the investors want you to. And if you don't, then the SEC gets on your ass.
And that seems like just a recipe for disaster.
They're incredibly smart to stay private. It's a personal complaint.
And you're half joking, clearly. But
I'm half joking, yeah. I mean, if you want to get into real reasons to hate Valve, we could talk about hats.
Well, that changed the entire market, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it did. And I'm going to say not for the better. But
no, but didn't Oblivion's horse have something to do with this?
Yeah, horse armor is certainly another can of worms we could open up, but...
Well, before we open up that can of worms, just keep in mind we're now under a boardwalk, and if you've seen the episode of Always Sunny, you know, there's gonna be some sex. So just be prepared if you see two guys going at it, giving each other the old rusty trombone, the Cleveland Steamer, the Mississippi Manhandler, any things like that, just be prepared for it.
So Vinny, there's these mannequins here. They're all, as far as I can tell, female mannequins. As soon as you said there's going to be sex, the top half of all the mannequins flew off at once.
that is sex.
Also, L.A. boardwalks, man, you don't even want to know.
I can't imagine what's there.
Primeval shit going on.
The depth of human depravity. And I'm not even talking about like homeless or anything like that. Obviously, that's a very sad problem. No one wants to be homeless, and no one wants to fucking make fun of homeless people because that sucks. However, if you have people under a boardwalk giving each other the old Cleveland Steamer, that's a different story. Like, if, you know, the spicy keychain, how do you even do these things? I don't know. Absolutely disgusting.
You know, speaking of Bum Simulator, it came out of early access. You think you're going to revisit that one?
No, I don't think I want to.
All right, now nobody can ask because you said no already.
Yeah, I mean, that game's... speaking of not making fun of homeless people, listen, it's supposed to be very cartoonish and very silly, and it is. However, the humor wears off pretty quickly, and it ends up just being a kind of like a semi-mediocre open world game. I mean, like, how much can you harp on that concept?
Games are. Yep, fucking. That's the whole point, just to get you to buy it or whatever.
Buy it and then stream it. But also, surprisingly, Goat Simulator ended up being entertaining almost all the way through.
Yeah, this guy's got a good sense of humor. Coffee stain.
Yeah, and well, that and also the references were fun. They mixed up the gameplay. There's a lot of unlockables. And you would think something like Goat Simulator would be like pretty much a one-trick pony. Excuse the animal pun.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I just blew myself out.
I was gonna say, hey, step back because that's gonna explode, but then it exploded.
You hear whale sounds?
Yeah,
Oh, those are
I'm
wolves.
like, these zombie noises are kind of strange.
Wait, maybe they are whales. I think my
I thought you
character
were
either
joking.
said
I was like,
my character either said zombie whales or zombie wolves. Guess we'll find out. Why would it be wolves?
Okay.
maybe your guy's stupid.
Yeah. Well, he kind of is. He kind of is, actually.
Ooh.
Damn.
These guys are. This is a lot of guys. Jesus. Try to kite them over here, and then maybe you can get Vinny up back there.
Okay.
Hey, little help? After you get.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's got me in like a dead end. The wheels are so loud here. Oh my god, I almost had him.
Wow.
The guy behind you has like no health, Dave. If you
Ah, fuck. Hey, we're all down.
damn. There was a lot of big enemies.
We'll get him this time. You know what zombie game had a story that was good? One of the Telltale Walking Dead games. Maybe even a couple of them. I mean, I lost interest after a certain point, but I just remember thinking, this is kind of neat. Again, all character driven.
Yep.
Like, whatever explanation as to why they're zombies, it doesn't matter so much as who is getting bitten and who's got drama with what character.
Yeah, that was kind of like a golden time in gaming for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why.
Of course. Zombie whales.
It's like the start of like the indie years, kind of.
Yeah, I can see that.
But it felt like all those games were awesome back then.
But, you know, we also had the Brown and Bloom shit. Like, a lot of, like, shooters were just, like, washed out color. Like, generic shooter. I mean, doesn't mean it's bad necessarily, but I feel like it's easy to remember the good stuff. But the indie games were good, Telltale games were good.
Yeah, Telltale had, that's what I mean. Telltale had so many, like, good games back then, but then everything they made after a certain point kind of sucked, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah, I stopped playing them. I played the Game of Thrones one, and then I realized, you know, all these things that are quote-unquote, you know, choices end up amounting to nothing. And, like, the game didn't even get a sequel. Might be able to get you up, Dave. Give me a second here.
I can't get you up when I'm. Can I get you up when I'm a zombie? Yeah, there we go.
That's unfortunate.
Anyone?
Remember
Gotcha.
to dodge and or block. That's something I'm just not doing.
Completely
Yeah, same.
forget about dodging.
I just
I
have
have done it once the entire game.
all these keys bound to so many things, like the dodge and block are not easy to actually get to.
I'm kiting two of these big guys away, so.
Oops.
These fucking whale noises, dude.
The cheese tactic. It worked though.
Yeah, it worked.
Sorted.
New Slayer card unlocked. Juggernaut. Overhead smash decks get major boost damage and force. Build Fury. Okay. I
Just
need
coming
to
from this
know.
car.
And it's coming from in
What's the
here.
sound?
Whale song.
Zephron, I did it.
I may have tripped a trap.
Clear checkpoint. It's contained.
Right.
What?
Actually, if you're at a huddle up, I'll just die. And then join you once I'm
Probably
back.
save you. Probably gonna run out of time. Yeah.
Wait, what's going on? What are you guys doing?
I was trying to go save Dave.
I think I'm having a panic attack. Bundy, things have gone very badly.
Whoa.
Oh, jeez. What the
It's like phased out of the ladder.
platforming? Oh, I just phased out of the surfboard.
Weird.
Auto
Okay.
phase. Phage.
Fuck.
I gotta turn off the whale song now.
Please.
That's a. Oh.
There's no one here.
Damn it. That means Dr. Bundy didn't make it. The blood drive must still be at the end of the pier.
I'm gonna find it. It's my ticket out, right?
Right. Just be careful. The pier was locked down, but Bundy had the key. Try to find him.
Bundy, got it.
New survivor slot unlocked. Oh. Okay. Where was that weapon? Oh, here it is. 1,000-degree glowing hot sword.
Let's get this over with.
Can we get in here now?
Happy thoughts. Happy thoughts.
Yeah, it said the end of the pier, so I think we're going past the entire carnival here.
Bundy, please stand up.
set on fire, idiot. Chop his fucking legs off, but yeah, bosses just do not want that to happen, do they?
Not until they're dead, yeah.
Ooh. Got another purple.
Spitting cobra.
Yeah, I haven't seen a single purple. Weird.
Or pink.
Same, I didn't get anything of value. Brass knuckles, nothing that was all that special.
Yeah.
Okay, find my way to the end of the theater. Get the stupid laptop. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh shit.
Demented clown time. Place. Did you see, Jeff? Someone posted this place is lousy with clowns, and it was just like a fuckload of clowns in one picture.
Hey.
No, that's funny though.
It's funny.
I didn't even know there's gonna be clowns in this.
I got a problem here. Stop
I feel like clowns and zombies go pretty well together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, Left 4 Dead 2 comes to mind.
It's your least favorite restaurant, Vinny.
Bucket o' fish.
Oh, great. Yeah, this just keeps getting better and better.
Boardwalk restaurant names are always so funny. It's like the...
That's right. This is where the muscle clown is.
Places.
Oh, gone over where I am.
Oh yeah, shotgun. My first shotgun.
Yeah, this clown definitely looks like a Dead Rising character.
Yeah. Did you ever, you played Dead Rising, right, Vinny?
Yeah, I was never like huge in, in the series, but I put my hours into it. Not too many though.
I really liked 2.
Yeah, those were fun games to just fuck around in.
Yeah. It was strange because that was definitely like an amazing fuck around game, but the game required you to worry about time. So it didn't want you to fuck around,
I'm sure someone modded that out, right?
Oh, absolutely.
That
for any PC versions of it, certainly. But it just seemed like such a strange design decision to me. Like, it was just so much fun to fuck around, but it was designed to punish you if you did that.
Speed run, basically.
Yeah.
You're like supposed to speed run it, kind of. That's why it was like frustrating. Yeah.
There was another game like that. I forgot what it was. One on a timer that you would just spend a lot of time fucking around in the game if it weren't for the timer, and it was a similar kind of situation.
Yeah, there's a few out there. Can't think of what they are though.
I'm never making that jump. Gotta be another way.
So we're going through an arcade, lads.
Oh, fun.
Cool. I used to love arcades. They better have a Time Splitters machine.
You just referred to time splitters here.
Yeah, I heard that. I hear you saying that.
I used to love arcades. It's like, yeah,
So relatable.
Oh, right.
Me too,
We
for real, for real.
It was in the first recording, where we were at a person's house and they had a time splitters machine. Remember?
Yep.
Forgot about that already.
Yep.
It's been a month.
I forgot. You know what? Why did we find out why this company made Time Splitter? Was this like X-Free Radical people, or does publisher own Time Splitter's IP?
I think that the publisher owns the rights. Yeah. Isn't this like I don't know, they changed their name to something. Playon is what it's called now? Hold on, I have to look all this up because I'm curious.
But we also probably talked about how Shaun of the Dead had Time Splitters. They were playing that when, what's his name? Nick Frost was all zombified in the fucking shed. So it's funny to me that Time Splitters and zombies kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, they do, huh? And yeah, the publisher is Playon. And they definitely, I'm pretty sure they own Time Splitters now. Playon was like Koch Media. They changed their name. You remember they were buying up a bunch of different game companies. So I pay way too much attention to fucking video game news.
No, it's interesting stuff.
But yeah, Koch Media, aka Playon, which is what they're called now, they own Time Splitters, they own Dead Island, so it's all synergy.
It's linked, cells within cells interlinked.
Mm-hmm.
Great. No
Time Splitters had zombies. There were a couple zombie levels.
Ideal.
Give you a double barrel shotgun. Go shoot some zombies.
Screw this. Nope.
I heard the hype horn.
I did too. I just heard Wakanda. Did my character just say Wakanda? What the fuck?
Really? And what was the context there?
I don't know. I think he said it as like a hooray kind of word. I'm gonna look back at the recording and see. I got so confused.
Following me, okay? I taste like ass.
Whose character is? Oh, that was
That
yours.
was your character who said that.
That wasn't mine. Oh, he was? What? Really? Yeah, it was.
Your
I guess you're right.
Your character just said, "I taste like ass."
Would you rather just play some games? Huh?
I gotta say, the bullet sponginess of these enemies, it's a little frustrating at times.
Getting annoying.
And I get it. If you want like insta kill, go play Left 4 Dead. And this is an RPG and everything, but still, it's when you have a gun and the gun only does 1% damage. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. It's and I wonder how much of that.
One-shot you.
I wonder how much of that is because we're just beelining the story and not doing any side questing and side leveling, side powering, and all that.
Proobs.
I mean, Fury still seems to do some work. That's good.
Quit slacking.
Thank you.
I'm surprised Fury mode isn't called Beast mode. It seems like the type of game that would call it Beast mode.
You're not
Oh,
wrong.
jeez, look at that. It's a massive neon zombie magnet clusterfuck.
Oh my god, it's Christmas.
I love boardwalk arcades and like rides. This whole thing is just really, like I said, nostalgic, but I just like it. I don't know. I need to do vacations that aren't to places like this at some point in my life. That would be nice.
Where else? Where else are you thinking?
No.
if you want to do one similar, go to Santa Cruz near San Fran here. They've got such a dope boardwalk. They have a caveman ride that goes under the boardwalk, and that's where Us was like filmed, or it's supposed to be.
Oh,
that's where like Lost Boys was filmed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That movie was awesome. I don't know
There's a
how
bunch of
awesome
movies
it
that
is
were,
now,
like-
but yeah.
It's like kind of like what you were talking about before with the 80s movies. Like, if that movie was made now, it would be like, who cares? But like back then, it's like, well, this looks so cool, and like all the shots are like sick looking.
And
But
movies
now
like
a vampire movie, be like, oh, come on.
Yeah, but that's what's fun about some of these 80s movies. Like, I disagree that 80s
right.
cinema is not good because it's fun and, like, it just had a feeling to it. Like Ferris Bueller, like the John Hughes
totally.
movies, Goonies.
Even the shitty movies, even like the bad movies have that same feeling sometimes. It's so funny.
Yeah.
That's what's great about there just being like almost like a never ending supply of movies you'll never have exhausted, you know what I mean, from that time period.
Look at Best of the Worst. They're doing some bizarre fucking movies this last one, and never even heard of them.
Right.
But, you know, they're not going to be great, but you'll still get that feeling. Like,
right.
They introduced me to Chopping Mall, that movie with the fucking robots defending the mall,
Robots.
and I love that stupid movie so much now.
There's like a head explosion in that, right? Isn't there?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Safety lock. I'll have to stop this big wheel.
All the action movies and shit like that, like you
Great
can just
action
pick a random
movies.
Chuck Norris movie and like you'll never have seen it before, you know what I mean? And like it's like, all right, that kind of like does what I wanted it to do, but
Exactly. And it's good to watch with friends.
Right.
Like Invasion USA was my favorite one. My friend Rob used to come by many, many years ago now, and we would watch like shitty Chuck Norris movies.
Yep.
And he wasn't a great actor, but
No,
it was
no
just
way.
fun to
That's
watch
why it's good, yeah.
the movies. Like he just kicked ass.
just says dumb shit. It's like
Dumb shit, one-liners, and lots of kicking.
You ever see Sidekicks, dude?
No.
Oh my god,
What's-
you gotta
what's
see
Sidekicks?
Sidekicks, man. It's got Joe, what's his name?
Don't say Piscopo. Don't say Piscopo.
Yes, he's the bad guy. It's
No.
so good. Dude, you have to watch this movie now.
What is it, though?
It's so good. This kid has hallucinations about Chuck Norris being like his friend. And like he has these like Family Guy hallucinations where they like fight like whole armies of dudes together, and then like he wakes up and like the teacher's like, answer the question, and it's so good. It's such an 80s movie too, man.
Okay. I'm not opposed to watching this movie. It sounds like my kind of garbage night.
Oh, you would like it. You would love it. It's really dumb, but
Yeah, but dumb is great if you're in the mood for dumb.
Right. No, it's good.
Like, yeah, I don't need highfalutin cinema all the time. Like, I want something like that. So that's a good suggestion.
It's
One of my
kind
favorite.
like a little.
Yeah.
It's Joe Piscopo is like a dojo leader, so he's in it a lot. He's like the bad guy. So yeah, if you want to see him do dumb shit,
Sure. Yeah, I just want to see him attempt a role as well. That'll be fun.
Well,
Maybe
Joe
he's good.
Piscopo was in Johnny Dangerously, and he was good in that.
Oh yeah, he was. That's right.
well, that was the thing that he was famous for, kind of, right?
Oh, I don't know about that.
I think he's famous for stand-up comedy, and he just got some bit roles in some shows and movies from. Ooh. And they were almost dead too.
He's in a lot of stuff randomly. I don't know, just like see him all the time. I feel like
He was huge at the time. He was like one of the most in-demand comics.
Well, they got him for Star Trek.
Yeah, he was the stand-up comedian in Star Trek.
Ferris wheel. Hey, Ferris wheels. Nice stupid fucking full fair.
But did you ever see Real Genius?
Yep. I love that
yeah.
movie.
Val Kilmer.
Yep.
Yeah, the laser movie. I love that movie. That is one of my favorite movies, let alone 80s movies. And it's one of those things, again, it has a vibe. Like, I know that's such a cop-out word sometimes because it's like it's not really saying much, but there's just a couple other movies that have that.
Verbalize it. I don't know, like without fucking going into like an in-depth discussion. It's a good way to be like, yeah, just did what I wanted to do.
Yeah, and it has its own unique feel to it. That's probably a good way to describe it. It's just fun. It's got really silly moments, but awesome music. Like almost, like Donnie Darko was another movie as a kid. We were talking about soundtracks before. That was a movie that got me into like Tears for Fears, Echo and the Bunnymen, Joy Division. It's my first exposure to a lot of these bands. Real Genius also has some great music, and it got me. The link is that they both had Tears for Fears in them. And like there's just so much great 80s stuff. Like I don't agree that 80s cinema is trash because there's just so much good stuff. But I guess if you're like a cinephile and you're looking for movies like, you know, Scorsese movies, yeah, maybe the 80s isn't the best time for that, but and the action movies were great. And you also got fucking RoboCop.
You know what I used to love too when I was a kid? Short Circuit with fucking Johnny Five.
Yeah.
I used to watch that shit all the fucking time.
Yeah, I like that
I
movie
don't
a
really
lot.
see him anymore.
Fisher Stevens and what's his name? Michael McKean were in that movie.
There was a bunch of them too, though. Wasn't there like 4 fucking Short Circuit movies?
I think there was just 2.
Yeah, I think there were
But then
2
there
of
was
those.
also
And then,
Battery Not Included.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. It's a lot of similar ideas, I guess.
Robot buddies. There was a genre.
Right. And when you're a kid, you're like, dude, I love robots. Like, I don't know. Something about robot friends.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, hell, Rob the Robot sold Nintendo consoles.
I think all of that was also kind of a part of the Alien Friends thing that ET started.
Yeah.
Right? Because there was
and Mac and Me perfected.
Sure, there's Mac and Me. That's definitely a part of that. What was the
E.T. crawled so Mac could run. Huh?
Was it like called Radio Flyer or something like that?
I don't know.
There's one with like a silver UFO. I can't remember these names though. It was one where the kids like had dreams about how to contact aliens and eventually do, and then they fly up and they meet the alien, and then they discover that the alien is a kid, not like an adult.
No,
and the kid
it
alien gets in trouble because he invited the Earth kids to his.
Oh my
his
god!
ship.
Don't die, Jeff. Don't die.
All the random shit I remember.
The acid just killed me instantly.
Oh, fuck. We gotta do that again?
Wait, where the fuck? It put me way far away from you guys. I don't
Dude,
even
these
know where
things
the-
move. That's kind of sick. It's bumper cars.
Sorry, audience. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't think any of us are happy about this, but we're just too busy occupying ourselves by speaking about random things.
It's not just that. It's just like the game all of a sudden, instead of, I don't know, just like more zombies. I don't know.
No, zombies, and also like the floor is lava.
Yeah, it's kind of stupid.
It happens a lot. We'll get it this time.
We're slightly inept at this point playing the game, but
yeah, well, again, like I said, we're having fun. Even the game's harder. The levels are probably a little bit not matched, so it's okay. But man, I'm pretty sure we completed that sequence. It seemed like we did.
Here's closed. Everybody go home. New. Okay.
if it's like a finite amount of zombies you have to fight in a sequence, it's cool. But like when they just keep coming and coming, that's kind of annoying.
Yeah. And then one giant bullet sponge.
Right. This electricity's on. Be careful.
Got any water?
This music is like UFO drum and bass. Nah,
It sounds like the wheel of the worst core.
See, I just got one shot. It's so stupid.
All right, let's see if I can. Okay, I got you.
Thank you. Yeah, I just gotta try to use all the guns, I guess. I keep forgetting about that.
I think just like try to avoid the big guy and just keep kiting him away from everybody else. And then we can focus on him.
Like Diablo fucking mobs now too, and they all have like fucking resistances and shit.
They're trying to
It's just
keep
funny,
it
they all have,
fresh.
like all these statuses and stuff.
You don't forget your curveballs too.
Yeah, they're pretty clutch right now.
Big guy's down, ripped off his fucking cock. Cock gone.
That's one way of killing them.
Bomb these guys.
What's the zombie trope? Like, must destroy the head. Oh, that was from Shaun of the Dead. Like,
Yeah, the
remove the
brains.
head or whatever was the news guy kept saying, and he just ignores it.
Oh no, burster.
Oh.
Those are the worst.
Also, double heal if you have to. I think a useful thing that we could have done that we haven't really done is like, you know, one of us gets a weapon that's really good at taking out limbs, and one of us just focuses on limbs, and another one focuses on damage, that kind of thing.
Yeah, if we wanted to game
wanna
with
get
this,
sweaty.
we absolutely could. We're just busy having a fun
I
time
was-
with fucking around is all.
Just going for limbs at first, I just got killed. But it
Dave, it's
became not
just
as
you.
viable anymore.
Is it? Fuck.
Yeah,
okay.
it's just you.
Okay, hold on. Cleaning out, trying to lure.
I'm just going to embrace death and try to run back to
No.
you. So
Okay.
just stay alive. I'm
Yeah.
halfway through the respawn.
Okay, I got
Alright, you got me up.
Jeff up.
All right, I'm on my way back.
Away.
Yeah.
Throw a bomb in there.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna Fury.
That's a good idea, actually.
Okay, big guy's down. And I think that's it.
Hands up. Who had the keys? Booyah.
Put
Did
the
we do it?
revolver in there. For...
Oh.
Where?
Pile.
I don't see it.
No, that was a random drop.
Okay.
Just real lucky with the random drops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wish you could like give weapons to other people.
Yeah.
Especially in a game like this, because you're gonna find stuff you don't want to use, like kind of like what you're just talking about. You could just be like, "Hey, here's a sword guy."
Seriously? Well, I guess one ride won't kill me.
You really couldn't have gotten off that.
Oh, this shit again. What? Is that a fucking clown? Oh, Jesus Christ, are you kidding me?
Did your character make a Stephen King joke?
No, he said, "Is that a fucking clown?" What did your character say?
My character said some kind of pedo. I'll take a clip of that for you.
My character just said, "Go find a sewer to hang in, you dick."
Mine was the least funny. He just said, "Is that a fucking clown?"
What was that? He just left? I don't.
Yeah, why did we just ride on the Ferris wheel? I don't
For the
understand.
exit, the one side was an entrance only.
Oh.
But still, he just like was like, "Hey," and then he just left. Just introduction to clown.
Introduction to clown. Part 1. Clown comes to town.
I don't know why it feels like an album name to me.
The class you could take.
It's like a symphony. Shine on you crazy clown. Parts 1 through 9.
Whoa, what the fuck? Blue item over here. This box.
Not for me.
Not for me either. Yeah, Jeff, you have like some pretty fucking insane luck. Oh no, it's blue. It's just shit.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Yeah, I already have like blues. I'm sure there's some stuff there that I'm missing that's pretty good, but all my weapons are blue.
Dude, I found the fucking Klingon weapon.
You got a batleth?
It doesn't, it's not exactly it, but let me see if I can throw it so you can see it.
Oh, I see. I already see in your hands.
They're like little ones. I thought it was bigger.
Small. Actually, what level is this? Level 17. I mean, I guess it's good to have higher leveled stuff. I might want to stop soon.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah, I think we've been going 2.5 hours almost, weirdly. Didn't feel like it. But, yeah.
Even when it's frustrating, it's still fun.
Yeah, no,
I'm chopping through things.
We died a couple times, but it hasn't really killed my drive to want to finish the game.
We got to be pretty close, I think, to the end anyways.
Jeff, those batleth thingies, can you actually like throw those?
Let's see. Switch it back. Oh no.
Yeah, I didn't think so, because I think anything you dual hand can't be thrown.
That makes sense, I guess.
I just think it'd be cool if those could be thrown.
Well, there seems to be... We're probably going to have to fight that clown in a second, but... It seems like there's a whole thing here.
This whole place is
This area does look kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, it looks awesome.
One of the boardwalks actually broke in half down here when it was raining really bad over the past few months in Capitola, California. The whole boardwalk just broke in half. It's crazy.
My character just told the clown to fuck himself sideways again. By the way, do you remember Hurricane Sandy, like destroyed Seaside Heights in New Jersey?
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, those were some fucked up. Like the boardwalk just got completely destroyed and rebuilt.
That's like the nicer one now, right? I mean, I guess because it got rebuilt.
Nice. Yeah, it's nice.
I mean, brand new.
It's nicer because it's brand new, not because of the let's say the classiness of it.
Yeah, I think I went there once when I was a kid.
Kind of important, then I'm out of here. Okay?
Your character really hates this clown.
Yeah, he's got some kind of like clown thing.
This game was being developed in the clown period, I think, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. It's through the resurgence of the murder clowns and the thief clowns.
Right.
All these bodies dragged in here. My stupid ass for free.
Like it like BC, you know, the Dark Ages, the Middle Ages.
Cloud tides.
The nuclear war, the nuclear era, of course, Industrial Revolution, all these different eras, and then like 8 months, it's just clown period. This is 8 months scattered throughout.
Ticket out of here.
It'd be a good movie where they figure out at some part of the movie it's like every 8 years the clowns resurface. You can track it through history.
What does
The
it
fall
mean?
of Alexandria. The burning
Genghis
of the
Khan.
library of Alexandria.
We've discovered that his name wasn't in fact Genghis Khan, but Genghis. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it.
No, no. Get off me! Get off me!
Why is this clown like that?
Hey, touching's extra, bitch!
My character just said, "Hey, touching's extra, bitch." Oh, we got some clowncore playing right now.
Oh. I gotta turn it up.
Oh, fuck off. You're regenerating?
Are we doing any damage to it?
A little bit, but I mean, not as much as we should be doing. Well, we were actually listening to fucking like circus music.
Poison the attic.
Clown just keeps regenerating by eating corpses.
He has like a Wolverine substance to him.
Right.
It's like an adamantium skeleton or some shit.
Regeneration powers from some kind of zombie attribute.
Why? Who knows?
The autophage.
They were
Yeah,
watching
yeah.
Logan one night while they were making this game.
Don't you go dying on me now, you idiot.
At least there's no mobs or anything like that.
There was a couple enemies, not like a full mob, but I think, do we have to like destroy the bodies so it doesn't eat them?
No. We throw them in the fire. God.
Damn, I'm down.
Yeah, I forgot to make more
Alright.
health things.
You pick him up.
Me too.
Got him.
Okay, I think the point is to just interrupt him eating whenever he runs off. So you just gotta keep chasing him.
It'd be nice if you could make health stuff in just battle or whatever.
Yeah. I got him.
Pretty good.
Let's go.
Oh my god, he got like all his health back. Maybe not. Oh, there's a guy.
Yeah, you just gotta interrupt them.
Jesus.
Okay, you keep on the clown.
Yeah. I'm trying it.
Thank you.
Yeah, got this. There we go.
Finally, I get a purple.
Yeah, the bat.
Baseball bat, yeah.
It's just a boring baseball bat.
Yeah.
Well, we gotta mod it still.
Yeah.
Ruben, you copy?
Hey, do you have it?
Oh, yeah. I'm fine, thanks.
Well,
Guts. Do you have it? That's what his voice sounded like.
That's what I heard too.
Do you have it? What? Permanent spine damage. Yeah, definitely. There are kids that are now adults that were on Guts that are still trying to chase that glory. And like they're doing like backyard obstacle courses. They're like registering at local Spartan events.
Okay, that is not ideal.
They just can't quite reach that level again.
Of course!
Yeah, American Ninja or whatever. That's basically the same thing now, isn't it?
Oh yeah, Ninja Warrior, yeah.
Or whatever, yeah.
I wonder if any Guts kids have made it to Ninja Warrior.
I thought you were gonna say, I wonder if any Guts kids have made it to 30.
Oh my god.
The Guts curse.
It's a tough, listen, it's a curse and it's a tough gig.
I mean, maybe not the ones with the permanent spine damage, but...
Especially not
funny.
those.
What's his name? He's had such a weird career. Mike
O'Malley.
Yeah.
Mike O'Malley.
He's on Snowpiercer, and he's pretty decent on it, too.
He's like in so much random shit.
Oh, I hope it's waterproof.
He reminds me of Norm Macdonald a lot for some reason. I don't know why.
They were
like a
definitely in
face
stuff
thing.
together.
I think a similar face, yeah.
O'Malley McDonald? No.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm seeing all of our bats
Dude,
next to each other.
I thought that was a glitch at first.
I like that we all took it out to see it. It's really good. This might
All
be a good spot.
stuff.
Yeah.
No buried treasure. Just a food critic needing a rescue.
Just a castaway on a
Let's see how
lost
good that
at
works.
sea.
That's a good amount of damage.
It'd be cool if there was like a Jimmy Buffett enemy you had to fight or something.
Like, you know how in Zombieland Bill Murray shows up?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just Jimmy Buffett. Like they license celebrities in their future Dead Island games just so you can like pulp them. They're like bosses. Actually, that's not a terrible idea for a game like this. If you're gonna do like a celebrity tie-in, if you get like three. Hello, my name is Giancarlo Esposito, and I am the villain of Dead Island 3, Dead Again. Are you strong enough to face me? Do you have it?
I can see that happening.
So that boss was an introduction to these worse zombies.
Yeah, what the fuck? That's so stupid. Immediately, the first enemy is just the boss reskin. That's kind of fucking lame.
Well, it's not. I mean, it's just showing us the new type. The type of stabby hands.
It seems like they should be like a little rare or something. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
I hate them.
Yeah, me too.
I just hate that in a game where you fight a boss and then like immediately it's the reskin is like a normal enemy in the next dungeon. It's like, come on.
trying to think of what game it is that does that a lot. Where
I mean, it used to be a big issue, obviously, but
Secret of Mana was one.
games like Dark Souls and Elden Ring, like
bosses
turn into normal enemies at some point. It's a
Binding of Isaac.
true.
yeah, Binding of Isaac.
Okay. I guess that's it. We just exit the main menu, right?
Yep.
Alright, more Dead Island soon. We're 5 quests away from finishing the story, it seems, here on the menu. And we've done 1 of 33 side quests. We've done 0 lost and found and some challenges. So yeah, we're just kind of like rolling through this game at the speed of sound. But hopefully next time we play it, I think we could probably finish it, but we'll see. No need to rush if it doesn't look like it. So if there's 5, if we manage to do 3 next time, then be 2 more videos, whatever. Anyway, thank you all for watching. This was Dead Island 2 with Jeff and Dave. Thank you guys for joining as always, and I hope you have a good night. So long.
Later.
See ya.